West Edmonton Mall during COVID-19. Just how is North America's largest mall making out? Hey everyone, it's Wendy with Passport Stampers. We're in the middle of COVID-19 Wave 3 right now in Alberta. So I got to wondering, just how is Canada's largest attraction making out in these times? So I thought I should take a meander on over there and check it out. Come along with me. So I shot this footage on a Saturday afternoon in early May 2021. Now normally West Edmonton Mall on a Saturday afternoon is the last place you'd find me. On weekends they can average 150,000 visitors per day. Alright? I got to admit, what you're going to see is a long ways from what I expected. And here we have one of West Edmonton Mall's most famous inhabitants. The bronze whale, called Open Sea, is now resting in its new location after being rehomed. He was part of the original West Edmonton Mall, but in 2010 he had to be relocated to facilitate the opening of the Victoria's Secret store. So now he's moved down. He went from phase 2 to phase 1, and you can still get in there and take your pictures. So for those of you that don't know, West Edmonton Mall originally opened in September 1981. It was built in a series of 4 phases. So it originally opened with phase 1, which is where the Hudson's Bay is now. And as we walk through the mall today here, you can kind of tell where the different phases all are. Pre-COVID, West Edmonton Mall would see over 30 million visitors a year. That is almost double the number of people that visit Disneyland every year. Now remember, this is a Saturday afternoon. Another thing West Edmonton Mall is famous for are these guys, the original oil field miners. And broken down escalators. You're pretty hard pressed to visit West Edmonton Mall without finding at least one broken escalator. Galaxyland features more than 27 rides. There is attractions, play areas. There's really something for everyone. There's also the famous large 3-loop indoor roller coaster, and arcade games, a rock climbing wall, a 7D theater, and a kids play park. Make sure you check it out when it does open again. This lineup here is to get into the Disney store. Again, with COVID restrictions, they're limited to how many people are allowed in the store at a time. So one of the few places where we actually seen people on this adventure was at the Disney store. Here we are approaching the famous ice rink, which kind of marks the middle of the mall. If you are lucky and hit here on a good day, you might even catch the Edmonton Oilers hockey team in their practices. West Edmonton Mall has over 100 restaurants, an indoor amusement park, over 800 stores, 2 luxury hotels with different themes, a sea life park, an 18-hole mini golf course, the ice rink, When's the last time you saw a Lush store with the employees just standing around and nobody in the store? Right up here, we have the famous Sarah Jessica Parker shoe. Sarah Jessica Parker recently opened the first ever Canadian standalone store right here in West Edmonton Mall, right up here on the corner. Right here we have the famous Bourbon Street. Normally, when we're not in COVID, this is the bumpingest, most happening place in the whole mall. It's normally filled with restaurants and nightclubs and people having a good time. As you can see, because of the COVID restrictions, all of the restaurants are required to be shut down right now. They can only offer takeout or patio dining if they have a patio, but being that they're in the mall, these guys don't have patios. Take a look. Edmonton-based 555 Group owns not only West Edmonton Mall, but the Mall of America and a bunch of other shopping centers around the world. So I don't think I've ever been to West Edmonton Mall when there was not a car up for raffle. See the car on our left? It's kind of famous. But tell me, how cool would it be to be the guy who gets to drive the car into the mall and park it there? I have to say, coming up here is the most surprising aspect of our tour through West Edmonton Mall that I've had. We're now approaching the super duper world famous water park. Take a look and tell me what you think is missing. That's right, you guessed it. The water is missing. This is the first time I've ever seen the water park completely drained. There is not a drop to be had in there. So here we're about to enter one of the food courts. This is the newest food court here that we're walking into. But remember, we are in the height of COVID craziness here. And as you look over to the left, you can see all of the seating areas are roped off. So you cannot get something to eat and sit down to eat it in West Edmonton Mall right now. So if you're looking for that yummy, yummy bowl of faux soup, you'll be eating it standing up. So now we're approaching the 18-hole mini golf course that runs all along this wing of the mall. And again, because of COVID, it's closed. Pre-COVID, West Edmonton Mall used to employ over 24,000 people. As you can see by the current state, there's considerably less working right now. Did you know that West Edmonton Mall was once promoted as the 8th wonder of the world? And it kind of deserves it. Okay, not gonna lie, this one here kind of blew me away. So this is a humongous Lego store, but as you can see, it is very closed up. I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to play with some Lego. Just there in the distance, you will see the famous replica of the Santa Maria. The ship itself is pretty famous. The mall hosts lots of weddings and different events on board that ship. And we are now approaching the marine life at the sea caverns. This underground aquarium is home to more than 100 species of fish, sharks, sea turtles, penguins, reptiles, amphibians, and invertebrates. Not to mention there's also 4 California sea lions that live right in there that perform daily at the Sea Lions Rock. So the mall used to have a couple of pretty famous dolphins that hung out right here in these pools, as well as a flock of pink flamingos that used to be just right up here. both of which have now been rehomed just because of humane reasons. They do, however, still have Rocco, the famous penguin, and he still can be spotted from time to time out walking around in the mall with his little penguin buddies. Now we're approaching the water park from the other side, and we'll give you a little closer look at what's missing. All the water. Have a look. West Edmonton Mall has space for more than 20,000 vehicles, and they have a major bus stop. Though oddly enough, it is notoriously one of the hardest places to find parking. So we've been here for about an hour now, and we're starting to see a few more people trickling in, but it's pretty late. So here we are, we're going to go up to technically the third floor and have a look around up there. So here we are approaching what I think is one of the absolute coolest places in the mall, Tnt Supermarket. So it is a very Asian market. It's got a lot of Asian fruits and products, and it just is just fascinating to me. I love it. Take a look. If you happen to be in the area, I highly recommend their dim sum. They also have Peking duck, and their bakery is fantastic. But first, we have to check out the fish section. Stay tuned. Now, the seafood section in here is usually a bit of chaos, but you have to come and check it out. So they have live fish, they have crabs. Oh, look at that little guy, looks like he's waving to us. How cute. This was the first place I had ever seen a gooey duck. Still not sure I would eat one, but I've seen them here. And like I said, lots, their tanks look good, everything looks fresh, and it's busy. This is a really, really busy place. So back when West Edmonton Mall first opened this phase, the second floor was notorious for being the super expensive floor. This is where Louis Vuitton was. This is where all the expensive stores were. Now you can see, not so much. So this Edmonton landmark used to be the largest in the world, but now it sits at number 23. But don't feel too bad for it. It still holds world records for the world's largest indoor amusement park, the world's largest indoor triple loop roller coaster, the world's largest indoor lake, the world's largest indoor wave pool, the world's largest parking lot, and hence the record for having the most number of world records for a mall. Did you know the size of the West Edmonton Mall is the equivalent to 48 city blocks? 48! Did you also know that West Edmonton Mall used to have its own fire-breathing dragon? That's right, it did. It has a big theater, and at the time, they had this massive dragon that was mounted to the ceiling in a two-story theater, and at predetermined times, he would give shows where he would actually breathe fire, and it would be so close to your head you could feel the heat. It was amazing. The dragon itself was quite the attraction. Unfortunately, costs of maintaining him and keeping him from, burning up the tourists became a bit much for the mall, and he was removed. So, just like with the Sarah Jessica Parker store, West Edmonton Mall was also the home of the first ever Canadian location of the Victoria's Secret store. Now you see why they were willing to move that bronze whale for it. Well, we're almost back where we came in. So, as you can see, even during COVID, West Edmonton Mall is still standing. There's still a few people out and about. Not all the activities are open, but the stores definitely are, and they could really use your business. So, drop on in, give them a view, come and see them, come and hang out, when it's safe to do so, of course. All right, everybody, as we exit the mall, we're going to exit the video. So thanks so much for joining us, hanging out for a little bit. Really hope you enjoyed the video and the tour of West Edmonton Mall. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and maybe mash that red subscribe button. We'd love to have you join our community. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.